Poor quality coverage, a bootleg stream, and stellar play. Must mean it's Worlds Week. What's up, degenerates? It's the Disc Golf World. I'm Jefferson, and alongside me, as always, the one with all the holes in his game, Swiss Cheese. Recapping everything you need to know from round 1 of the World Championships. First, shout out to our Patreon members for making this happen. Without you guys, this wouldn't have been possible. But before we can get into the play, we wanted to shed light on the current situation going on with the new London disc golf course. And there's no better person to describe it than the designer himself.
I only know a little bit that some $3 million grant has passed from the state. The money's been given. I don't know where it is in Bedford and all that stuff, but I know that the back 7 holes are pretty much what's going to be flattened and turned into plots for businesses to come in. That's unfortunate because I don't know where the course will eventually go if that happens and what will happen, but it would be hard for me to go out there and want to design something with what I've already done.
Hopefully you guys can bully Foundation enough to make some Save New London shirts. But for now, I gotta shout out the homies for doing their part. There's a couple petitions going on to hopefully save what Macbeth calls a top 10 disc golf course in the world. If you guys couldn't tell through the blurry coverage, that is. And I promise it's just as good as they say. Fans have not kept their opinions quiet about the quality of live. Apparently, spectators didn't keep their phones in their cars like instructed. Who would have thought? This does bring up a good question, though. What should the dgpt prioritize? Courses that will challenge the pros, or the ones that provide the best coverage for fans? Drop in the comments what you think. Thankfully, we're at the event, so the only one blocking my view is Kevin Jones walking in front of every shot I try to film around him. However, from the comments plastered all around social media, a better solution is necessary moving forward. I'm not one to talk shit, as you guys clearly already know, but from the posts, it's not a good look. But the jokes are pretty funny, so we can at least laugh. I mean, not all you paying for pro, but still. Although, it couldn't have been that bad, as this was the first time I've ever seen a bootleg stream of disc golf. Once we make Stream East, then I know we've for sure made it. But for now, can you guys please just pay the $10 for DGN? Or at least quit your complaining about shitty coverage. Obviously can't be that bad if you're gonna steal it. And for those dumb enough to think Nico LaCastro was actually commenting, I'm sorry to say that OnlyFans isn't real. Sorry to burst your bubble. Also, not sure if it's true, but I saw a comment that said more people were watching the pirated stream than the DGN one. Although, I'm really not sure where they got that information. And from the looks of it, lots of fans seem to believe the illegal stream was actually from DGN. I know, reading can be hard. Almost as much as it was for this kid to sit in his chair. That was a joke. I'm not that big of a jerk to make fun of a literal kid. I'll leave that to Terry. I did, however, find it interesting how divided fans were on the situation. Some felt bad for Buhr, others felt distractions like that shouldn't be excuses for missed putts. One thing's for sure, no one's blaming a child. Well, besides Terry, of course. Another quick note about Ganon was people questioning why his card wasn't put on the clock, as we saw the lead card having to wait extensively each hole. Again, we weren't able to see what was going on, so make sure to let us know if time should have been called or not in the comments. But for now, Swiss, hit the people with the FPO recap.
Macbeth at 69.
I just told myself, you got to will this one in there. Whatever you have, just will it in there.
This man is unbelievable. This is what athletes live for. This is the moment.
Listen, there's no need to sugarcoat it. Holland Hanley took the narrative on day 1, about right after scoring 2 eagles within 3 holes, as she kicks off her Worlds with one of her strongest opening rounds of her career. Though it really wouldn't start off that well, as Holland would only be 1 under through the first 6 holes. The front half on New London is where Holland and players are looking to score, as half the holes in just that 6-hole span finished below par on the day. Yet her round would shift when she stepped up to hole 7, a par 5 with eagle opportunity for one of the strongest players off the tee. After a precise upshot, she would need to hit a 35-footer to accomplish the feat. It would be her only C2 putt make on the day, but she made it count for the eagle, only for her to make it easier on herself just 2 holes later on 9, landing in the bullseye for the tap-in eagle, going 4 down through 3 holes and 5 down on the front half. A statement, considering Holland was on a feature card with the 2-time defending world champion and everyone's pick for a 3rd, Kristen Tatar. The effort would keep her in the lead and already staring down the clubhouse leader in Kat Murch, who, despite saying she was heading to bed in her post-interview, was squarely focused on the rest of the action. Murch had a great round, scoring 6 birdies at one point that kicked off with a big C2 putt make herself. She would be leading the pack with a 7 under on the day with a 10-13 rated round, 50 points higher than her current rating. Though Holland could not be stopped on the back half, scoring 6 more birdies on the back 9 and would have only a single blemish on 18 with a bogey. She would finish 10 under for the day and 3 strokes ahead of the field, wouldn't miss from inside the circle for the entire round and already put herself in a strong position with 4 rounds yet to play. Tatar, she had a far different back half, as she would find herself off the fairway 4 holes and OB on another through 9 drives. Had 2 C1 missed putts, both resulting in bogey on top of that. Still, she was 1 under heading into 18, hoping to heal to the clubhouse, or PDGA tent rather, and lick her wounds. Yet would go on to double bogey, finish the round 1 over, 11 strokes off the leader and 5 cards back, as Pepto Tatar just might not be it. Though Holland Hanley certainly looks to have a firm grasp of this tournament thus far, there are plenty of reasons that this tournament is far from over. Certainly more than the traditional speak of 4 more rounds, Holland's tendency for a blow-up, and Ivy left to play. But stats don't lie either. No matter how strong Holland was, she did not lead in a single driving stat on the day over her tomorrow card mates. Both Kat and Henna Bloomroos led Holland in fairway percentage, C2 in regulation, and tee to green. Holland did not lead in a single stat off the tee on the entire day. Henna finished 5 under on the round, and that was with her still present putting woes, missing 4 C1 putts on the round. That and Silva Saarinen, another European, uncharacteristically left some strokes on the course with her 5 under round also, as the best C1 putter in the world would miss 3 C1 putts in her round and resulting in her only bogey. That and with a chase card where every player is 4 under, who all have wins on the season themselves. There's still plenty of competition that is near. Paige Pierce and Evelina Salonen adds just as much strength off the tee as Holland, and both Missy Gannon and Emily Weatherman have proven to be able to hit lines with the best of the field. And of course, like everybody else wants to believe, there's a hot round coming from Tatar, and Ivy is the best course for it. At least that's what everyone in attendance is hoping, as most VIPs certainly crossing their fingers for more of a European Open Tatar than her US WDGC performance. Yet, if Holland is able to extend her lead on the difficult Ivy course, she just might be on her way to winning her first Elite Series Plus, Major, and World Championship all in a single season.
Over on the MPO side, the defending world champion picked up right where he left off. Here's what he had to say.
This year has been a real up and down year. And so I feel like my expectations have kind of been all over the place. Easily one of my top 5 favorite courses, very reminiscent of Jackson. The fairways are just so cool. Once you hit them, there's nothing in the way. So if you stay in the fairway, you're going to have a good look at the basket. I think that's what makes a really good course. We see that in Europe. We see that in a couple courses around the country. But if you're off the fairway, that's where it gets punishing. If I get off the fairway, just get back to the fairway at all costs. It's such a neat course because kind of right in the middle there, you have the shots where you need to go big and you pull out the distance driver. But every shot after that, you're just playing for the middle. And so whatever discs that I'm feeling confident will get me to the middle of the fairway, those are the shots I'm going to be throwing.
He started the round with 4 straight birdies, followed by a turkey to end the front 9-7 under. Continued his excellent play while persevering through the slow play. Secured 4 birdies in a row on the back that included a 67-footer. New London sets up for Isaac's game, and being up on the top after day 1 has to feel good, especially when he went 13 for 14 inside the circle and nailing the only C2 opportunity he had. See what happens when he putts on decent baskets? Many would assume New London would favor Isaac, which it does, but this is what Gannon had to say about his play over at Ivy Hills.
I've been playing with Isaac quite a bit, and he's looking incredible right now. I think he was 9 under through 10 yesterday when we played here at Ivy Hill. And that's with playing hole 5 for par. So he was just like, he's playing amazing right now, which is scary, but it's kind of good because I can see some of the lines he's been taking.
Anthony Barella would also find himself tied at the top with an 11 down, his putter being the driving force, going perfect from C1 and hit an additional 4 putts from outside. Rounding out day 2's lead card, Luke Taylor and last event's winner, Joey Buckets, who started the day making noise going 10 under through 13, but would slow up from there. But what is the most impressive is not only going 100% from C1X, but also C2. If Joey can keep his putter close to perfect and stack birdies as he does, we might just see him put up a fight. There's something about these 6-digit PDGA number kids that make me feel so insecure. But then I just think of Swiss's game. Luke Taylor, in his 2nd ever World Championship, found himself on lead card after a 9 under. Just a few small mistakes he needs to clean up. but if he can stay within 5 strokes while facing the most amount of pressure, we'll be looking good headed back into the woods. I could go on and on about players that might pop off, but we have 4 more days and 3 of them at a course we haven't really seen yet. Yeah, I know Scott Stokely put together a 5 under, but I think we'll see that doubled with the A pool. Ivy Hills is said to be the hardest track we've seen at a world championship, as well as the body, I would like to add. It's just one step of the many tests these players will need to face in order to become a champion. That was everything you needed to know from round 1. To stay up to date with everything from Worlds Week, make sure to subscribe as the Disc Golf World has you covered. Also, if you're at the event and see us, make sure to say what's up. We love meeting all you disc generates.